And hello there, my friends. It's me, your pal, Colt Sebastian Taylor, adventurer, entrepreneur, and the host of the Saturday Report with me, Colt Sebastian Taylor. Adjust my camera here slightly. Yeah, it's better. Here, doing my weekly Twitch broadcast as I record my show. It will broadcast in its more polished form tomorrow on AWSM Radio at 11 a.m., of which you can listen to it at awsmradio.com. Before I get started, I want to give a shout out to my pals at socialb.io. They are a social media posting service that I use, and they're fantastic. So when you see me sharing news stories throughout the week, my various social media locations, they're the folks that I use. So check them out, socialb.io. All right. Well, let's get started with this week's Saturday Report recording, shall we? I think we shall. Okay. Thank you and welcome once again, my friends, to the Saturday Report with me, Colt Sebastian Taylor, adventurer, entrepreneur, and amateur, still on Twitter. And welcome to AWSM Radio, an independent digital-only radio station that plays today's best music, old school classics, along with a rotating cast of all-star DJs. AWSM Radio focuses on mainstream artists, independent artists, along with a variety of interesting talk and music shows throughout the day. All we do is entertain, inspire, and inform. And my friends, I want you to be part of the conversation. I want you to find me on the social media channels. That's the Twitter, the Instagram, the Facebook, also on the Cameo at Colt S. Taylor, also on Counter Social at Colt S. Taylor, an alternative to Twitter. And then the podcast version of this show can be found at anchor.fm/Colt S. Taylor, and you can listen to it on any of your preferred podcast playing services, formats, devices, etc. And then also, before we start today, a big shout out to my friends at socialb.io. They are the folks I use to post across the Colt Sebastian Taylor social media network, so you should definitely check them out. I like them much better than Hootsuite, so check them out, socialb.io. All right, my friends, let's get started with this week's Saturday Report. Okay. Okay, here we go. Gotta find the right story. There we go. Okay. First up this week, you know what? He's back. He's back. A subject of just morbid curiosity. Kanye West, also known as Ye. He prefers Ye, although he's often referred to Kanye West in many news stories. But the Easter, as you may recall, has had a bit of a go at it recently. Got dropped by a bunch all of his sponsors, including Adidas, and has gone on several programs. He was previously suspended from Twitter. Got a lot of support from the right wing. I mean, even the GOP Judiciary Committee put out a tweet in October to support Kanye West, along with Elon Musk and Donald Trump, on just support them and support free speech. Well, that tweet from the Judiciary GOP has been taken down. Mostly, finally, after somewhat of an interesting incident yesterday. If you haven't heard, I imagine you have. I like to cover things that people maybe not have seen, but I just cannot avoid this. I mean, I've covered Kanye's presidential run in 2020. He says he's running in 2024. He asked Donald Trump to be his running mate. That's some cojones there. But he went on. Well, he's done a lot of media interviews. Earlier this month or last month, he was on Tucker Carlson for a 2-hour bizarre interview, a lot of which was left out, apparently. Then he went on Tim Pool, who is a right-wing podcaster, kind of a big old D-bag. Not a fan of him. He just looks like someone you wanna just not have a conversation with. He was there for like 20 minutes and then stormed out when Tim Pool started to push back on his, of course, anti-Semitic remarks that he has been making for the last month or so that has caused him to get punted from a variety of different sponsorships and platforms. But as soon as he started pushing back, Kanye walked on out. He had gone there with Nick Fuentes. I think I'm saying his name right. Don't care. He's a big old right-wing, anti-Semitic, Holocaust denying D-bag as well. And Milo Nick, I don't know his last name. It's a very long, obnoxious name. Also, a right-wing who's recently been promoting conversion therapy as his latest grift. So those two and Kanye went to Tim Pool's podcast, and then whoop, he left after about 20 minutes and refused to come back in because he started to get pushback on his anti-Semitic remarks. So, just to bring you up to speed on what has happened in like the last week or two. So, if you are Kanye West, you have lost $2 billion worth of sponsorships. Your wife, Kim Kardashian, has divorced you because of your increasingly manic episodes and the things that you're saying. You've been widely denounced as being anti-Semitic and whatnot. So what do you do next? Where do you go next? Of course, the Alex Jones Show. Alex Jones, InfoWars. That name sounds familiar. That's because he was sued for $1 billion, billion with a B, $1 billion, and lost that case, $1 billion, by the Sandy Hook parents who tragically lost their children's lives during that shooting. I think almost like a decade ago now. And Alex Jones had put out that they were crisis actors. That was fake. There's a big old deep state plot that it's not true. And his broadcast sent a lot of people to harass these people still grieving from the deaths of the children. Well, they decided to sue him, and wouldn't you know it, he lost big time. He lost $1 billion. He declared bankruptcy this week as well, the day after Kanye was on his show. So Kanye West went to Alex Jones's InfoWars show with Nick Fuentes. He came in like a big old hoodie, had gloves on, and had a full face mask on, like a full ski mask, just like little dots in the face for the eyes to go through. Would not show his face on the Alex Jones program. League some people think that it was an impersonator who was there, but it wasn't, and we'll get to that pretty soon. So Kanye, despite the fact during Hurricane Katrina, Hurricane Katrina, boy, what a tough word to say. Remember when he went on TV and said that George W. Bush hates black people? with Mike Myers. He since then he has turned dramatically to the right. He has quote unquote found God, become a reborn evangelical Christian, has done a lot of Christian music. He might be in a cult. Might be in a cult. But he's now super religious, and he loves everyone. He loves everyone. And on Alex Jones, he told everyone he loves everyone. Let's see here. Quote, especially Hitler. No, not some guy with an unfortunate last name. The Adolf Hitler. Yes, he said that he loves everyone. Nazis get a bad name. He finds the good in everyone. And that, that's why he loves everyone. He loves everyone. So Alex Jones, for once, looked a smidge uncomfortable. Uncomfortable during the conversation. Of all people, uncomfortable. So according to Kanye West, and I watched a part of this. Oh boy, what a train wreck. He said, well, I see good things about Hitler too. I love everyone. And Jewish people are not going to tell me you can love us and you can love what we're doing to you with those contracts and you can love what we're pushing with pornography. You can't say out loud that this person did anything good and I'm done with that. Every human being has something of value they have brought to the table, especially Hitler. Also, Hitler was a born Christian. And then as Alex Jones was trying to go to commercial break saying that he's being unfairly pushed as having a Hitler fetish, he said, I like Hitler. Yes. Just let that sink that in. And then he said, I love Jewish people, but I also love Nazis. That people need to stop hating on Nazis. Yes, the Easter. Let me finish with Beyonce had the greatest album of all time. Kanye West did that. And then he kind of went off on a bit on Israel, surprise, surprise, and Benjamin Netanyahu, where he brought out a bottle of Yahoo, the chocolate drink, and a fly swatter, Netanyahu, and was doing an impression of him talking to Kanye West. So it's clearly, this is obviously, as one might imagine, a bit much. Also, I forgot to mention, Kanye got his Twitter account back a few days ago as well from his quote-unquote friend, Elon Musk. And then then this week is the point where like some people thought, oh gosh, you know what, Kanye, that was a fake Kanye. Nope, he got out his phone, gave it over to Alex Jones and Nick Fuentes and this other guy, Ali Alexander, who is part of the Stop the Steal, overturn the election. All three of them booted from Twitter for a variety of policy violations, and he let them tweet from his phone messages to Twitter. Yeah. So, needless to say, Kanye's Twitter account was banned and suspended once again by Elon Musk, causing outrage by some on the right that he wasn't embracing free speech. As you may have guessed, these people have, well, let's just say, problematic views. And, it is a train wreck. And then, earlier this morning or late last night, the judicial GOP, who posted support of Elon Musk, Kanye West, Donald Trump, decided to delete that tweet. Remember, this is the same Kanye West who went to dine with Donald Trump last week with Nick Fuentes. Okay? This guy, who was just on the Alex Jones show, who said all these things, went down there and hung on out with Donald Trump. And do you know who? And Kanye West's remarks have been denounced by many people. Mitch McConnell, Ronna McDaniel's Rami, whoever's in charge of the RNC, not yet denounced by Donald Trump. Not specifically denounced, just saying he was helping out a friend who's mentally ill, who needs help. Told him not to run for president because he'll lose, and that Nick Fuentes, I didn't know him. So, obviously, this might hurt his 2024 chances as an independent. Might put him in the running for the GOP nomination. I kid. Kinda, maybe. I don't know. Oh, boy. What a meltdown. Now, allegedly, he is bipolar. And he is refusing to take his medication because his doctor, according to him, is Jewish. As, no surprise there. That's the reason why he's not taking his medication. He's also very much against pornography. Yes, he came off very, very hard against pornography as well. Hates it. Hates pornography. So, that is also something else that he is proclaiming, I guess. I don't know. So, not sure where he's going next. He is obviously being taken advantage of right-wing grifters who wave around a Bible and manage to get into his sort of psychosis or whatever. And it's a shame. It's a shame. He really needs some help. He absolutely needs some help. And the folks around him, they ain't help him. Well, they're just cashing those expense reports, I guess. Whew. Wow, how the mighty have fallen. And oh boy, he is a mess. He is a mess. Also, as you may remember, he was supposed to buy a social media company called Parler. Parler is a notorious bastion of far-right commentary on there. Basically, far-right agitators. And they said, you know what? We're fine, Kanye. We're fine. Like, even when Parler says, you're too much for me, you may want to re-examine your statements. So, I will continue to follow this drama as you probably have asked me to. And if he runs for president, I'll be following that too. We'll see how many ballots he can get on. Whew. Boy. The Easter. Hello, friend. Mr. Persago91. Are you a Safari guy? I'm an adventurer, an entrepreneur, an amateur, everything. Thanks for watching. And be sure to click on the follow button, and then because I don't only do my talk show on here, I also play games from time to time as well. So pop on there. And hello from Brazil, international viewer. I'm currently recording a radio show, which actually apparently has a big Brazilian listenership on AWSM radio called The Saturday Report with me, Colt Sebastian Taylor. And it will broadcast tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't know the time zones in Brazil, so whenever it's 11 a.m. in New York City, whatever time that is for you, that's when this will broadcast. So, not this part, I'm talking to you on Twitch, where I'll edit that part out. But, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I'll say hello back. Hello. Okay. Let's go on to the next story. The Easter. Oh boy. I almost feel bad for him. if he wasn't such an anti-Semitic prick. Okay. How many followers do I have on the Twitch? Not many. Yet. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 16, 22. Well, not quite 50 yet. But I'm getting there. We shall see. Okay. But yes, if you are following or listening in here, hello, welcome. Be sure to give a follow as I pop on here recording my show and play some video games from time to time as well. Alright, next story. Moving along, it's time for a palate cleanser. That was a pretty intense story there about the Easter. So, a happy story. A happy birthday to a special guy named Jonathan, turning 190 years old this week. I'm sorry. Jonathan is a giant tortoise. Yes, he's a giant tortoise. The oldest known living mammal on Earth. Born in the early 1800s on the Shell Islands in the Indian Ocean, but currently resides on St. Helena, which is an island in the middle of the South Atlantic Ocean, which I know exactly where it is. Fun fact, it's the island they sent Napoleon Bonaparte after he was lost again at Waterloo. Must have been Waterloo. After he tried to come back to be the Emperor of France, got defeated, so they shipped him off the South Atlantic, where he remained for the rest of his years. But that is also the home of Jonathan. He has been there since 1882. 1882. He's lived there for, obviously, over 100 years, and he's pushing almost 200. Almost 200. There's going to be some island-wide celebrations of his life, including posters with various pictures all the way back to the 1800s about him. A series of activities. There'll be a chat with the Governor General and his wife, because St. Helena is a outpost of the United Kingdom. They have a Governor General there, I believe. They're going to feed Jonathan his favorite vegetables. And the event will be streamed online, so I'm sure you can find it online as well. And then they'll probably put it on YouTube, a nice little flashy thing for there. But then Sunday, tomorrow, there'll be an animated video and song dedicated to celebrating Jonathan's life that will premiere, and he'll be given a birthday cake, but will be sugar and cake. No, don't worry. Be made of his favorite healthy foods. And there will be a special stamp that will be on sale and other memorabilia, which Islanders will be able to win during novelty tortoise-themed games. Yes, that's right. Now, they estimate his age based on his shell measurements. He's been there for quite a while, so he's been studied quite a bit. Documented from a photo shortly taken after his arrival to St. Helena. The photo when he arrived showed that he was a fully matured and at least 50 years old when he arrived in 1882, although he might be even older. Now, obviously, he's a tortoise, so can't take care of himself. He does have a caretaker. His name is Joe Hollands. He is a vet on St. Helena. Although he is retired, he still helps make sure that the tortoise stays healthy. Um, so, according to him, he said, quote, when you think if he was hatched in 1832, the Georgian era, the King George, my goodness, the changes in the world. The world wars, the rise and fall of the British Empire, the many governors, kings, queens that have passed, it's quite extraordinary. And he's just been here, enjoying himself. Now this year, Jonathan also got the Guinness World Record title for oldest living land mammal. He has also been named the oldest tortoise ever. That's right, oldest tortoise ever. Now, on average, a giant tortoise can live between 80 and 120 years, but obviously, if he's well taken care for on a nice island in the South Atlantic, boy howdy, he doesn't look a day over 183, if you ask me. All right. Boop. My friends, something else that also is timeless and definitely ages well is my pal DC. He is our in-house DJ here on AWSM Radio, and he mixes it up every Friday night at 10 p.m. You do not want to miss out. No, sorry, 9 p.m. on Fridays. You'll understand when I get to 10 p.m. 9 p.m. on Fridays, and you don't want to miss out while he smashes it on the ones and twos, kicking the beats from South Florida. He does it Fridays at 9 p.m., and then again on Sundays at 10 p.m. And sandwiched between those two fantastic musical events is DC House Party Saturdays, where on Saturdays at 10 p.m., DC and his freestyling DJ will bring you all the Miami vibe and house party vibes without actually having to go to a house somewhere in Florida. From the top clubs to the bars, DC's going to bring the party to you Saturdays at 10 p.m. So just to review, it's DC live in effect Fridays at 9, DC House Party Saturdays, Saturdays at 10, and DC live in effect Sundays at 10 p.m. once again, only here on AWSM Radio. Okay. Next news story. Moving along, the United States Air Force this week announced a new officially bomber jet called the B-21 Raider. Looks like a big stealth bomber, but apparently it's very much different than that. Technology has advanced quite a bit. It is the first new American bomber in over 30 years. It is still very classified, and only artist renderings have been officially released. They intend for it to replace the B-2 Spirit, which are those big stealth bombers that we're all pretty familiar with. The bomber is the Pentagon's effort to modernize the three legs of the nuclear triad, which also include land-based silo missiles and submarine-based warheads. Um, they are changing the mindset here from counterterrorism, which has been pretty much the go-to uh, threat since 2001, to more modern threats, frankly, like China. Apparently, by 2035, China will have over 1,500 nuclear weapons and is working on hypersonic missiles, cyber warfare, and other space capabilities. And this is one part of countering that, apparently. According to Kathy Warden, the chief executive of Northrop Grumman Corp., which is building the B-21 Raider, quote, "The way it operates internally is extremely advanced compared to the B-2 because the technology has evolved so much in terms of the computing capability that we can now embed in the software of the B-21. Then it continues to say, new manufacturing techniques and materials will ensure the B-21 will defeat the anti-access, anti-denial systems it will face. They won't say specifically how, but it is apparently much more stealthy than its predecessors. The cost of the bombers are unknown. The Air Force previously put the price for buying 100 aircraft at the average of $550 million each in 2010, which is roughly $753 million today. But it's not really clear how much they have spent on this because it's classified. According to Dan Glazer, the senior defense policy at the Project on Government Oversight, says it might be a big challenge for us to do normal analysis of a major program like this. It's easy to say that the B-21 is still on schedule before it actually flies because it's only one of those programs that goes into the actual testing phase when real problems are discovered. And so that's the point when schedules really start to slip and costs really start to rise. The Raider will not make its first flight until 2023. However, using advanced computing, Northrop Grumman has tested the Raider's performance using digital twin virtual replica, of which one is being unveiled. So we'll see. Hopefully it works pretty well. I mean, a lot of these new systems have not gone very well, I suppose. The Navy's new ships was kind of scrapped after 3 or 4, after spending billions of dollars on these ships to the future. They never really worked right and they got rid of them. And then there was supposed to be the Land Warrior system, basically cameras and mics hooked up to every warrior and exoskeletons, and they skipped that too. I remember there being a program about a laser or a railgun. Not working yet. So I don't know why all these programs lately just haven't worked well, but hopefully this one does. This one does. The plane that's replacing is the B-2, the big stealth bomber. And it is known for its range. In fact, it set a record in October 2001 when it flew 44 hours straight to drop the first bombs in Afghanistan after the September 11th attacks. The B-2 often does long round-trip missions because there are so few hangars globally that can accommodate its wingspan. It's a big, big plane. So it limits where it can land, and needs to be stored. The B-2 needs to be stored in an air-conditioned hangar because the windows don't open, and hot climates can cook the cockpit electronics. So obviously, it can't go there on one go. It has to be refueled, but they're hoping the advanced technology in the B-21 will allow it to have a little bit more flexibility than its predecessors. But maybe we'll get pictures of it soon. But right now, just artist renditions, and hopefully, when they fly it for the first time next year, it's not a complete waste of money. All right. Next. Next up, my friends, Pantone has announced its color of the year in 2023. Pantone color, the color of the year 2023 has officially been revealed. It is the global color authority, apparently. I don't know who gave it that title, but lots of people pay attention to Pantone. And this year's color is Viva Magenta. I guess the code is 81-1750. And it's the color of the year to set the tone for paint trends. Last year was Very Perry, which was a lilac. And 2021 was a duo of yellow and gray. Now, they apparently the last year's selection of lilac wasn't super well received, but apparently the year before that, yellow and gray, a lot of people used yellow and gray apparently in their living room painting trends. So, according to Pantone's Color Institute's executive director, Latrice Eisman, in this age of technology, we look to draw inspiration from nature and what is real. Pantone 18-1750 Viva Magenta descends from the red family and is inspired by the red of cochineal, one of the most precious dyes belonging to the natural dye family, as well one of the strongest and brightest the world has known. So, goes on to say that the color experts say that Viva Magenta reconnects us to original matter, as it's rooted in the primordial. Invoking the forces of nature, Viva Magenta galvanizes our spirit, helping us to build our inner strengths. Okay. Sure. Apparently, red's very fashionable this year. And, yeah, so the last few selections for the last 10 years for Pantone color of the year. Last year was Very Perry, a periwinkle blue. 2021, Ultimate Gray and Illuminating, neutral gray and bright yellow. 2020, Classic Blue, rich blue. 2019, Living Coral, bright coral color. 2018, Ultraviolet, deep purple. 2017, Greenery, bright green. 2016, Rose Quartz and Serenity, pink and blue. 2015, Marsala, an earthy red wine. 2014, Radiant Orchard, a vibrant pink. And 2013, Emerald, green. Now, magenta, according to this article, is a vibrant and warm tone and sits midway between red and blue. It's often described as pinkish, purplish red, and in the words of Pantone, it's audacious, full of wit, and inclusive for all. Sounds like me. So, you probably say, how does Pantone select its color of the year? Well, every year, color experts at Pantone meet and analyze color influences. They try to predict which color is going to be big in the world of interior design for the year ahead. And this year, they've selected Viva Magenta. So, you heard it here first, unless you've read it somewhere else first. Viva Magenta, Pantone's color of the year. Viva Magenta. Okay. Let's see how many minutes have we done? All right, 1, 2, 15, 19, 20. No, wait. Yes, wait. 1, 2, 15, 19, 20, 26, 30. I should do a break. Time for a commercial break. My friends, you know who's Viva Magenta in my life? It's my unbelievably talented, unbelievably beautiful Rox. And she has a show here on AWSM Radio called The Rock Sessions. It's our drive time show, making sure that your evening commute home is fun, featuring the hottest music on the charts and some other surprises in between. She will make it rock style, Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. right here, my friends, on AWSM Radio. Okay, so I can probably do two more stories. Two more stories. I'm gonna do a story of Brazil, a Brazilian story, since we had a Brazilian viewer here today on the Twitch stream. Next up, my friends, we go to Brazil, which is one of our major listenerships here on AWSM Radio, with a story about Brazilian football legend Pelé rushed to the hospital amid his battle with cancer. However, his daughter said in a quick update that this was no real emergency or surprise, that he's doing okay. According to the Post, lots of alarm in the media today concerning my dad's health. He is in the hospital regulating medication. There is no emergency or dire prediction. I will be there for New Year's and promise to post some pictures. So Pelé was at Albert Einstein Hospital with general swelling and undergoing several tests for a more in-depth assessment. In 2021, he had a tumor removed from his colon and has been in and out of the hospital since then for regular treatment. He is 82 years old. Still with us, my friend, still with us, but at the hospital to regulate his medication while fighting cancer. So hopefully he feels better and will be around for many more years to come. And send all of our well wishes to soccer/football legend Pelé, who is currently getting his medications regulated in a hospital. Okay. Moving along for, although also in the hospital, Al Roker. Yes, Al Roker, famed weatherman for NBC's morning show. He actually missed this year's Thanksgiving parade. He did he had been hospitalized with blood clots in the leg. and he was released but had to go back the next day as complications began to pop up with his treatments with the blood clots. Of some of them had traveled to his lungs, so serious medical condition that obviously, if left untreated, could cause a whole lot of issues. But he is doing well. Doctors are very optimistic about his prognosis, but they have to keep him there and keep a very close eye on him. According to a statement from NBC, that he is in very good care. He's resting, and his doctors are keeping a close eye on him. Al and his family want everyone to know how grateful they are for all the love and support and well wishes. They said that they checked in with him during the Thanksgiving parade, gave him a thumbs up. He posted a picture on Instagram from the hospital room on the Thanksgiving parade, saying he'd be going home for Thanksgiving. He posted on Instagram, "So very thankful to be home for Thanksgiving dinner with the family," but he did have to go the next day back to the hospital due to complications with blood clots. So now there are some slack-jawed yokels on there, on the Instagram and on the Twitter, saying that this is because of the COVID-19 vaccine. Scientifically speaking, however, these people are idiots. I checked back with the boys in the back. They've told me, "Colt, we've done our research. It turns out these people are idiots. Go back to your radio station." I say, "Thank you, scientists." And we kind of stare at each other awkwardly, and then I come back up here and do my radio show. So, anyways, Mr. Roker, the legendary Al Roker, hope you make a quick recovery, fellow newsman, although you're much more accomplished than I am. For now, I'm planning on going big places. But anyways, Mr. Al Roker, please get better. The world needs you, and your wit, and your charm, and you are a mainstay of presidential inauguration parades, mind you. So, yeah, you just get better, man. Just get better. Al Roker. Alright, let's count. Let's count how many minutes we have here. 1, 14, 15, 19, 20, 5, 6. Okay, let's count. Alright, 1, 14, 15, 19, 20, 25, 26, 29, 30, 31, 34. Okay. I can do two more. Do one more medium story. To call it right soon. Okay. Hello. Matthew McConaughey. Right, all right. Next up, folks, education, higher education, and the University of Texas, where Matthew McConaughey will be teaching a class this year to teach a course on commercials, where students can can study his latest commercial work, and talk to him about commercials. The class is called Script to Screen Commercials. He'll be co-teaching the class with lecturer and director Scott Rice and associate professor Laura Bright. Rice and McConaughey instructed another script-to-screen class together in years past, where he taught students about film producing and directing from guidance on pitching to the ins and outs of founding a production company. Begins in spring 2023, and we'll have students studying reading campaign briefs, early concepts, scripts, storyboards, and an exclusive behind-the-scenes footage to learn about the making of an ad campaign. McConaughey is a native Texas, attended UT Austin, graduated in 1993 with a Bachelor's of Science in Radio, Television, and Film. Him and his wife moved their family from Austin from Los Angeles in 2011. He started to be a visiting professor at the University of Texas in 2015, served as the school's Minister of Culture, and in 2019 he officially became a professor of practice at the school's Moody College of Communication. McConaughey helped teach the original script-to-screen course in 2015, developed the course's curriculum. The course is only available for majors, and students studied the script drafts, shot lists, storyboards, early edits, and exclusive behind-the-scenes of some of McConaughey's films. These films include The Free State of Jones, The Gentleman, Mud, and sometimes he has special guests come in and speak to the class. For example, he had Jeff Nicholas, the director of Mud, come in to speak to the class as well. No word on what commercials they'll be discussing, but as you may have seen on the TV, Matthew McConaughey does a lot of commercials. It was recently, for example, the Lincoln Car commercials, and as a Super Bowl ad for Salesforce. So he does his commercials, that's for sure. I'm available for commercials too, my friends. If you want a commercial here on AWSM Radio, let me know. I will put you in touch with our crack sales team, and you might have my dulcet voice doing commercials for you here on AWSM Radio. Just hit them up. They're immensely affordable. You're almost losing money by not doing it. Just saying. But anyways, once you've purchased your commercial here at AWSM Radio for me to read, you can then, if you live in Texas and are a film major, possibly have a class with Matthew McConaughey. All right. All right, where are we here? 1, 14, 15, 19, 20, 25, 26, 29, 30, 31, 34. All right. One more, and then we are going to depart for the evening, my friends. I have a lot to do, so I can't really share with you the editing process here. Not this week, but maybe sometime in the future. Oh. Don't need a double audio. Okay. Oop, right there. One more commercial, and then we have got to get going. My friends, listen. Now, while you might be a studier of film and script, I know many other folks out there are also a studier of basketball, and you might need a place to get your basketball news, your facts, your figures, etc. Well, my friends, you don't need to go any further because on Wednesdays at 9 p.m., it's To the Rack with Mac. He's your go-to spot for all things basketball. Join NBA expert Mac Daddy as he brings you a full hour of high-flying hoops expertise Wednesdays at 9 p.m. And then at 10 p.m. on Wednesdays, it's What's Going On. It is the Fox affiliate show providing listeners with over 150 years of combined sports knowledge. Hosted by Nate Brown and his crew, they have a staple. They are a staple of Western New York sports the last 2 decades. Now we've got them here on AWSM Radio at 10 p.m. You gotta come here and listen to them. So 9 p.m. To the Rack with Mac. 10 p.m. What's Going On? Only here, my friends, on AWSM Radio. Well, my friends, we are now out of time today. I'll be editing this offline and getting this off. It will be broadcasting tomorrow at 11 a.m. at AWSM Radio. I've put the link in the chat for you to save. And be sure to check out socialbee.io, my go-to social media posting service. They're great folks. Definitely suggest you check them out as well. We will now go raid another channel for fun. And I'll probably be back maybe sometime this weekend playing some games. We'll see what happens. But until next time, my friend, I am, of course, your friend, the one, the only, Colt Sebastian Taylor. And I'll see you